People sold their souls to Diddy. And then they're mad now because the hazing process was a little bit rougher than they thought. You can't be a king. Why do you think I love Diddy so much? You're not going to dethrone this man because he know how to get you there. By way of hazing you, I call it haze. And we're going to still do this. We're going to still do this. It's not going to stop. Take that. It's still going to happen. The got 3 million and we're still waking up in the morning, drinking cognac, screaming, bad boy, bad boy. And it won't stop. And it can't stop. And it's not going to stop. You thought just because you got 3 million, you changed it?
Now, my question is, do y'all still think Orlando Brown is crazy? Nah, I ain't gonna sit here and act like, his antics don't play a role into us creating an assumption. And also, we know that he's, at least from the outside, all these flies! Anyhow, from the outside looking in, we know he's suffering with some things. But outside of that, man, he was spot on about Diddy. Spot on about him. And Suge Knight says Diddy is going through drug withdrawals in jail right now, revealing that a guy named Tubi had a job at the label which involved bringing underage girls for artists and employees. Let's go and check this phone call out with Chris Kumo.
Okay, look at it like this. I look at real plain and simple. Ain't no whistleblower. Facts is there. But right now, I don't care if it's T.I., I don't care if it's Rick Ross, I don't care if it's Jay, I don't care if it's Snoop, I don't care if it's Game, I don't care if it's Dre. Nobody's stepping up on the fact that you know what's going on.
Nobody's defending him. You're right.
Guys at Interscope.
You're right.
Okay.
Nobody is defending him, but that's why I was interested in hearing your perspective.
Okay, but you had a guy named Tubby used to work for Interscope. This guy's job was to bring underage girls and girls to have sex with employees and other artists, to the point where his friend got caught up with the same thing. How they rated Puffy House for sex trafficking, they rated his friend house for sex trafficking.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
He never was an artist.
Sure. Can you say something? Can you say something
you really
positive?
Look at the whole situation.
Because you only got 60
everything
seconds.
I'm saying is positive. And I got to have him call right back.
All right, Suge, you call back. Do you think that Diddy?
He can do so.
Do you think Diddy knows enough that it's a very delicate balance that maybe investigators will want to know these other names and greatly reduce his exposure to criminality to time versus what people would do to keep him quiet?
Number one, I've been knowing him a long time, and we was friends. We're not enemies, but we were friends. He's not a dummy, so he's smart enough to work his magic. On top of that, this man right here, he been involved with the FBI and most of his career. Shit, he got powerful people. One of his partners who started his company with drug money, President Obama, got him out of prison. So it's not like he don't have no moves. So I don't think nobody should just count him out. I don't think he gonna lay down and just crawl in the corner and die. He probably going through a lot of shit right now because he probably going through a lot of withdrawals for the drugs. But the industry got him on drugs. My artist, one of the worst mistakes I could have made was protecting my artist is doing a deal at Interscope. When my artists used to pull up in Valet, the Murdoch building, they'd get out, they'd smell like weed. When they clothes smell like weed. When they made it to any office, it would smell like weed. Those guys, for my artists, they introduced cocaine to my artists. So once they got on cocaine, once they got on drugs, once they got on alcohol, and that's when the weird stuff happened. And I think that's what took Puffy down that lane. Then you got to remember, Clyde Davis, Russell Simmons, Andre Arell.
Simon, come on.
You better believe it. Alcohol, drugs. He compromised his manhood. Because he was taught that. He got Usher as a kid. They never recorded no songs, but alcohol, drugs, sex. Justin Bieber. And see, they do these things to take control. They're not doing, there's nothing wrong with being gay. If you choose to be gay, that's your preference. But they doing this to people for control. It's a power situation.
Now, for the record, the sentiment around Suge Knight's comments is he'll talk shit and then praise him the next day. That's pretty much what the comment section is. Literally, it says Suge is not a reliable source. Then this one quote: any artists out there that want to be an artist and stay a star don't want to have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the videos, all on the recording, dancing. Come to death row. Somebody else said drug withdrawal is hell when you make the conscious decision to quit. I can only imagine how much worse it could be when you're forced in a situation like that. Definitely. I never known Diddy was on drugs. Obviously, I knew he was somebody who partied, so I'm not like completely oblivious or surprised or shocked. The amount of drugs he takes, sure, I'm pretty sure I'd be surprised by. But your boy said it best. Cat Williams, all lies will be exposed this year, man. All lies will be exposed, okay? Now, as far as Justin Bieber, we heard Suge Knight mention Justin Bieber in there. Did you know that he's releasing a gospel album? Now, this is all before we get to the 10 most disturbing moments because of what we know now that Diddy has had. We know that Justin Bieber dropped a gospel album. Yeah, I don't know the name of it yet, but this clip just surfaced online, and I think y'all should check it out. All jokes aside, no funniness to this. I'm super proud and happy for Justin Bieber and his journey, his new journey and his walk with God, man. We gotta salute it. We gotta clap it up. We gotta give him credit because somebody of his stature and status could easily do what he want to do, but he's chosen to give glory to God, and we have to acknowledge that. When you meet the devil, you know it, and if you're lucky enough to walk away, you run straight for God. Okay, amen to that. So now we're gonna dive into Watch Mojo's video that they dropped yesterday, which is the 10 most disturbing Diddy moments because of what we know now. Let's check it out.
What's one misconception about you?
There are no misconceptions about me.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at moments involving Sean P. Diddy Combs that feel disturbing in the wake of his 2024 arrest and indictment, among other things.
So you have, if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Gotta keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
Diddy Parties. Over the years, numerous celebrities have praised Diddy Parties, from LeBron James to Ben Stiller in the Bad Boys for Life music video.
Listen, if you're having one of your crazy house party things, shout me a holler down.
In a 2005 VMAs ad, Derek Jeter, Nicole Richie, the Yin Yang Twins, and Fat Joe reflected on their experiences at Diddy Parties, portraying them as can't-miss events. Given the recent descriptions of Combs' alleged freak-off parties, these celebrity testimonies come across as insensitive in retrospect.
It's hard to say which is more off the hook, a Diddy party or a Diddy after party, or a Diddy after party, which is basically a pre-party for the next Diddy party.
Combs' accounts of his parties have not aged well either. In a resurfaced video, Combs films a seemingly passed out DJ named James as another guest places a drink on his head. Whether joking or not, Combs claimed that he puts white guys to sleep at his parties has taken on a more alarming meaning.
For all those in London that don't know what happens to the white man when he comes to a P. Diddy party, this is what happens to the white man.
Okay, what happens?
It's so unfortunate.
Usher sees, quote, very curious things. Usher lived with Combs for about a year during his early teens.
And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right?
In a 2016 appearance on The Howard Stern Show, Usher recounted his time in New York with Combs. Usher recalled several names like Biggie Smalls and Lil' Kim dropping by as parties raged into the early morning.
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
While Usher claims he stayed up later than Combs and his crew, he wasn't sure if he could, quote, indulge in some of the activities taking place. Although Usher didn't entirely understand
Usher, your parents got some explaining to do. They do. First of all, as a father, why the hell would I have my kid with some adults without, me being present? That's not me or any family, somebody that's related to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that just seems inappropriate. It is inappropriate. My child's not old enough to have the consent to be at these parties without, an adult present. And this fly in my room is, oh my gosh.
Everything going on. Combs' lifestyle was clearly, quote, wild, quote, crazy, and, quote, curious. When asked if he would ever send his kids to, quote, Puffy Camp, Usher gave a firm no.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
Usher said this with a laugh, but the allegations that have come out since have piqued our curiosity. Get him to the Greek. As funny as this 2010 comedy was upon release, it's hard to rewatch without thinking about how problematic several cast members have become.
It's better that you've apologized, because now we can start to rebuild.
In 2023, two women, one being his ex-girlfriend, accused Jonah Hill of abusive behavior. The same year, Russell Brand's history of sexual assault accusations caught up to him.
Okay. Please, guys, dive deep into Russell Brand's story, because I know that I'm not taking up for him whatsoever, or nobody who did anything wrong. I'm not taking up for no wrongdoing. However, my understanding is he poked the wrong bear in terms of information, and but we're still waiting to figure out and hear everything that's concluding from his situation. But I would just say this, he got a little too close to the truth.
Then there's Combs, who played hot-headed record producer Sergio Roma.
Oh, y'all think this meeting is for me? No, this meeting is not for me, it's for y'all. See, I'm gonna be all right. I'm straight. I got villas in Brazil, Tahiti, East Hampton, West Hampton. Sergio gonna be fine.
While the character was likely intended as a self-aware send-up of Combs' bombastic persona, it might have hit closer to home than the filmmakers realized. In one notable scene, a whacked-out Sergio goes on a rampage, chasing Hill and Brand's characters down a hallway.
Where you going? Run all the way back to LA.
Nowadays, when we think of Combs running down a hallway, an infamous video involving Cassie Ventura immediately comes to mind. Quote, "I'm a savage." Combs' YouTube channel posted multiple videos building hype for the 2017 documentary Can't Stop, Won't Stop.
We want to hit him with that pure, uncut 1000% who we are.
If you think that title has taken on an uncomfortable sentiment, the same can be said about the aforementioned videos. In one, Combs talks about how important winning is to him, which has likely never been more true than now.
I want to win over and over and over.
In another clip, Combs sits in his office, making a deal with MTV over the phone. Combs is so excited about the outcome that he starts messing up his desk, proclaiming that he's a, quote, savage who gets whatever he wants and can't be kept down.
Savage! I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage!
Taking a breather, Combs proceeds to ask what's next, although we're not sure he wants the answer. Jennifer Lopez's mom. After appearing in the Been Around the World music video, Jennifer Lopez dated Combs from 1999 to 2001.
So handsome. So well.
In a later interview with Wendy Williams, the talk show host floated the idea of Lopez and Combs getting back together. Before Lopez could answer, she pointed to her mother, Guadalupe Rodriguez, in the audience. The horrified expression on Rodriguez's face said everything, as did a dismissive hand motion.
Look it.
Lopez went on to talk about how Combs...
Is it because Ben Affleck got hit up by the FBI with those tapes of J-Lo doing stuff she ain't supposed to be doing?
Sent her 100 white doves, which wasn't as romantic as he might have envisioned. Even if this gesture had won Lopez back, it's safe to say her mother would not have approved.
It's crazy. Everybody came alive. They all had something to say.
Yeah, everybody has an opinion.
Yes, it's funny to me.
So no Puffy.
Be this due to Combs' suspected infidelity during his relationship with Lopez or another reason, Rodriguez has strong parental instincts. Ashton Kutchers Hot Ones interview. Although he has somewhat distanced himself from Combs as of late, Ashton Kutcher was once proud to call the rapper his friend.
Diddy Party stories, they're our favorite genre of anecdote if you have one, yeah.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell.
During his 2019 interview on Hot Ones, Kutcher was asked if he had any Diddy Party stories to share. Kutcher had plenty, but he struggled to think of one that he could tell.
Can't tell that one either. I mean, I'm like actually cycling through them.
With a smile, the actor shifted the subject away from the parties, instead talking about how he first met Combs and a memorable run the two shared. While Kutcher avoided discussing any parties, there has been speculation that he could be called to testify at Combs' trial, which would put him in a much hotter seat. In any case, Kutcher's comment that Combs, quote, can't lose plays differently now.
Well, he just can't lose. Even when he's that close to humility, that like it becomes a driver, and so then he went out and ran the New York Marathon.
The world is filled with uncomfortable lyrics. Combing through Diddy's discography, some of his music sounds almost prognostic.
Yo, the sun don't shine forever, but as long as it's here, then we might as well shine together.
This includes the music video for 1998's Victory, in which the artist runs away from the authorities. Of all the songs he collaborated on, 1997's The World Is Filled may be the most unnerving to revisit. Throughout his verse, Combs sings about how it's a, quote, privilege for women to be with him, although the lyrics paint a much more troubling portrait.
Won't you admit it? I ain't gotta talk it cause I live it. Any chick with me, believe me, that's a privilege.
The line, quote, never give up freedom feels especially ironic and creepy. This isn't just because Combs has been arrested, but considering that the charges against him include sex trafficking, there's more than one way to interpret the word freedom here.
I will say this, though. He ain't really write none of them lyrics. So, yeah, I know that Sun Don't Shine Forever was written by an artist from a group he had on his label called D-Block by the name of Jadakiss. Doesn't mean that he didn't have any intentions behind, like, you know, hey, make sure y'all write something like this. I'm not saying that, but yeah, I do know that he's not a writer.
We date them like we hate them, see them like we don't need them, treat them like we meet them, and never give them freedom.
Donald Trump's, quote, good friend. The year was 2012. Combs was making a cameo on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, while a future commander-in-chief was endorsing the rapper on Celebrity Apprentice 5.
Working for Diddy.
Absolutely.
I love Diddy.
When Aubrey O'Day brought up Combs, Donald Trump was quick to champion him. As Trump called Combs a, quote, good friend, O'Day wasn't willing to comment on whether she thought he was a, quote, good guy.
Is he a good guy?
I don't want to answer that question.
Oh, wow. I think he's a good guy. I'm going to stick up for him.
Our perceptions of Trump and Combs have drastically changed since this episode aired.
No, not my perception. Well, yeah, you're right. My perception of Trump at that time, I used to hate him, but Trump 2024!
Combs has reciprocated Trump's friendship in the past, although in an interview with Jimmy Kimmel, the singer said he wouldn't want to run for president like him.
I don't know if I could be responsible for the whole country.
Kimmel thought Combs would be a better leader than Trump, but the host just might be reconsidering that statement. His All That appearance. The docuseries Quiet on Set shined a spotlight on the dark side of several Nickelodeon shows, such as All That.
I was so excited, but I had no idea what kind of wild ride I was getting into.
In 2002, Combs appeared in the sketch comedy's now infamous Lil Fetus episode. Combs' presence has only added to the notoriety. The episode contains a few moments that aged like milk, including young girls cheering for Combs and the singer's giant head looking through a young boy's window.
Good morning. Can see in your room. Hey, stop screaming. Hey, it's just me, P. Diddy.
In the cringiest scene, Jack DeSena and Brian Hearn try to wake up Shane Lyons. They turn to Diddy, who gives them a toy helicopter and tells him to shove it down Shane's pants. When that doesn't work, Combs hands them the remote control, and the boys turn the helicopter on, awakening Shane to a world of pain.
Shall I? By all means.
You know, for kids. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest video.
That makes no sense, man. Nickelodeon, y'all got some explaining to do.
If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Yes.
Page featuring the teen Biebers' 48 Hours with Diddy. In 2009, a video was posted to Justin Bieber's YouTube page featuring the teenage singer and Diddy.
As soon as you turn 16,
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come to LA, yeah.
Addressing the camera, Combs said Bieber would be hanging out with him for 48 hours. Combs wouldn't divulge exactly what they would be up to, but he presented it as a dream come true for a boy of Bieber's age. It seemed innocent, even cool at the time.
I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So, and we gonna go full crazy.
15 years later, though, we can't help but read more into the awkward word choice. For the record, Combs says, quote, buck full crazy, but it sounds like something else. The two reunited in another video where Combs mentions they haven't seen each other in a while. This prompts Bieber to give him a fake number.
Okay. My
number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
It's 555.
Yes. Okay.
5555.
Okay. 55. You heard that?
What Diddy moments do you look at differently? Let us know in the comments.
The sad part is I used to sit back and I used to laugh at everything I used to watch on Nickelodeon and all that. Now I just sit back and I look at it and I'm going, ooh, how did we miss all this? And oh my gosh, I didn't realize, I didn't realize it was that bad until I got older. But I tell you what, Diddy, he gonna snitch on everybody. What we learned so far is he could be going through withdrawals, according to Suge Knight. Obviously, Orlando Brown already, he's Orlando Brown. He gonna let you know. In addition to that, we just got finished learning about the 10 disturbing facts since, we found out everything we found out about Diddy as of right now. So y'all, hey, Diddy. Damn, Diddy, let's read a few. I can read a few comments. Don't forget to show him with Barry Turo. Barack Obama. Yeah, period. When he was on television. Anyhow, let's read another one. Remember, no one never heard of black slave. The word slave is white European cause. What the? Come on, man. Ben Stiller is a sex addict and Kamala Harris. Jay-Z, Usher, Pink, J-Lo, Kevin Hart, Ashton Kutcher, and Hollywood in general need to be thoroughly investigated. But they won't because it affects the leak. I wouldn't be surprised that Diddy commits unaliving himself. Well, what's his name? Suge Knight also said that Diddy might not make it out of this month. Pray that. I pray that God have the God's will be done. I think that's the best way to sum this whole situation up.